pros, of course, is that well, there are many. This is being simple. If you have a uniform policy, then there is that sameness. Our daughter would say everybody's the same in a different way. So you don't have to worry about clothes, about making decisions, about peer pressure.
And status that's connected with, if some families can afford designer clothes and other students can't, so that there's status issues. When you have all students wearing the same uniform, that reduces that. So in some ways it makes it easier for everyone to be seen more equally. One of the things that happens in schools in the United States and Canada, because we value individuals and individual expression, is that there are often students, because you're teenagers, who make maybe inappropriate choices around clothes, maybe for a young girl, clothing that's too revealing in a classroom, or t-shirts that say things that are offensive. And so if you don't have a policy that says that none of that is allowed, then you're having to decide all the time, is this person, should they be punished for wearing that, or should this person? So it's a very complicated issue. I find it interesting that oftentimes both students in high school, but also teachers, will kind of impose their own rules. For example, I noticed at my college that the male teachers felt very comfortable wearing jeans and a plaid shirt, or even like an old sweater to teach in, but that the women teachers were expected not to wear jeans and an old plaid shirt. There was no rule written down, but I looked around and I thought, there are no women professors wearing jeans. And so I asked some of my colleagues, why do only men professors wear jeans and flannel shirts? And she was very shocked. We began to realize that there was an unspoken rule that it was okay for men to dress very casually, but women should not.
Women should dress professionally.
But I think there's one other thing that, and it's related to what I was saying earlier about the status that comes with when you can wear anything. One of the things that happens in some of the inner city schools in the United States particularly is that things like Nike shoes that are really expensive for young people, anybody, become objects of status, and so children are bullied and their shoes stolen, or they're ostracized, like they're not included because they don't wear the designer thing. So in that sense, I think that it's very disruptive when there's no rules. So yeah, I think we both are agreeing it's a very complicated system. I feel very uncomfortable with the idea that everyone has to wear their hair at a certain length. I don't see that that's a big problem if someone wants hair down to their shoulders or a short haircut. That I would have trouble. I would probably rebel against that myself. Yes and no. I think it may have some impact, but I think that people are always finding ways to establish status. So if it isn't in the clothes you wear, maybe it's in the food you eat, or maybe it's in the accent of your language, or some other way that can establish status. My first reaction would be, if it were up to me, I would say, let's give this a try. Every Friday, to start with, students can wear within reason, whatever they want. You don't have to wear the uniform. We call it, in the U.S., we call it dress down Fridays. So even in businesses where they wear ties and suits, on Fridays they can wear whatever they want.
It's become a cultural phenomenon now, whether you're working for Amazon or Google or Boeing or Shoreline College, Friday is dress down day.
So I think that's the way I would start and see, because I think if you went from everything being regulated to nothing being regulated, that might be too much chaos. But if you said, okay, one day a week, you can wear anything you want and see how it goes. And that too, you would see what kinds of policies needed to be in place in order for students to learn what is appropriate to wear to school and how does this affect the classroom. Right? I don't know, that's what I think I would do, because I think when you go from totally regulated to no regulations, it can be chaotic. But if you go step by step, people learn the responsibility that comes with individual choice. I have a question for you. What do you think would happen in the schools if they allowed students to wear their hair however they wanted, wear earrings if they wanted, wear whatever clothes they wanted? Do you think it would affect the level of education or the discipline in the school? What do you think would happen?
Chaos.